Mm. नमो अरिहन्ताणं नमो सिद्धाणं नमो आयर्याणं नमो उवचायाणं नमो लोये सवसाहुनम्। जय जिनेन्द्र सभी को। We are starting our semester 3 syllabus today. The first book we are supposed to cover is Moksh Marg Prakashak, chapters 1 and 2 only. We will follow a book that has already been translated in English. It is not the ChatGPT version. We will, what we will do is we'll start reading from this. If I just had a meeting with our translation team yesterday, they have translated chapter 6, 7, and 8, I think, but not 1 and 2. So what we're going to do is we'll read today. Let's see what you guys think of the quality of this book. If we feel that it would be better if it's redone in ChatGPT, then we might be able to do that. So let's see. I heard this book is also translation is not bad. So we'll start from there. Now, Bahubaliji, would you rather do your Gandhar first, or let's do it first? That way we're not just, kind of tight for time.
So my another topic is 14 stages of spiritual development or gunasthanas.
Good.
So I don't know whether it is, I can, if I had to finish in 15 minutes, maybe I need to go faster, or
I'll take your time. I'm sure these people wouldn't mind getting revision for the exams.
Bahubaliji, I'm actually looking forward to listening it in detail, if you can, please.
Oh my God. Okay. So I created a document because first time when I tried to put things and then try to remember, it's all going over my head because there are so many details, so much details. I can remember one or two sentences, but as I go through the points, I always forget them. So I thought, okay, create a document and share it so that when I'm talking, we can scan through that.
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay. So let me share this document. Okay.
Looks like majority of classes in India this time.
Yeah.
So please forgive me if I say something wrong, or I mean, I would say I will definitely miss so many things.
I don't know if we can all expand on our own screens, or are you able to expand it a little more? Perfect. Good.
So you can see it, or it's
Yeah,
too big?
I think it's no, it's not too big. I mean, you could further expand, but I can see okay now.
Okay. Okay. So anyhow, I sent the document, people can open, I mean, also.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay. So I was definitely this topic in our Tattva-dhyana Paఠamalu 2 is really, I mean, it covers a lot of precise points, I would say, because when I was listening to Sanjeev Kumar Godaji's discourses on Gunasthanas, my God, he go through a lot of details.
Yes.
Yeah. So I actually captured everything from the lessons we have, and then I here and there a little bit put some information from somewhere else I found. Okay. So something like so in our lesson about the Gunasthanas, it does not say what, I mean, proper definition, it's given in Tattvartha Sutra or somewhere. So I would like to read what is Gunasthana. What do you mean by Gunasthana? So actually Sanjeev Kumar Godaji tells, so what is Gunasthana? Is it Guna? Is it Paryaya, or it is substance? Like that, he goes on asking questions, and it says none of those, in a sense, like, okay. It is
I
like
want to
a,
ask the class, they should know by now.
yeah. If anybody, I mean, it's already written here. I mean, but if anybody, what is Gunasthana actually? I will just ask and then wait for a few seconds and then continue. Otherwise, it becomes a question answer session. I am not supposed to do that, correct?
It's a state of evolution, right? Of the
Yeah.
soul, right?
Yeah. So what it says is like I got this from Godaji. So it says like मोह और योग के निमित्त से जीव के श्रद्धा और चारित्र गुण में होने वाले हीनादिक अवस्था को गुणस्थान कहते हैं. So that means Gunasthana is the in English also loosely translated, it's like a varying state of inferiority and superiority in a soul's faith and conduct attributes due to delusions and yoga as instrumental causes. So that's the point to be noted, in a sense, like, okay, we have like a Gati karma, like Jnanavarniya karma, Darshanavaarniya karma, Mohaniya karma, and Antaraya karma. So the Mohaniya karma is related to faith. So it has two types, like Darshan Mohaniya, Charitra Mohaniya. So Darshan Mohani is about the faith, about that affects our faith attributes, like and the Charitra Mohaniya, it affects our conduct, like Charitra Guna. So Gunasthana is actually nothing but variation of the actual Guna, attribute of the soul. Okay. So, but this Gunasthana is, it's actually Kevali Gamme. Only Kevali knows who is in what Gunasthanas. But on the outside world, in the outside, physically, you can analyze. You can analyze and give analogies, saying, okay, he or she must be in this Gunasthana, like that. So there is some reflection will be there outside world, but it is nothing to do with the jnana. Even it's nothing to do with how somebody is renowned also, how much somebody is really learned on the scripture also. It's mainly about the Shraddha Guna and Charitra Guna. Okay. So that is the like Upadana Karana in this case. So, but there is an instrumental cause, like Darshan Mohaniya, Charitra Mohaniya, the Bhava Karmas are instrumental in this. So like, and I just wanted to give this, what is Darshan Mohaniya Karma, correct? Darshan Mohaniya Karma, that affects the faith attributes. So this karma right now in Mithyatva, it will have a Mithyatva state, correct? When based on the Purushartha, as you go towards, as we put the self-oriented effort in realizing, in understanding and realizing the self, so this Darshan Mohaniya Karma split into three parts. The Mithyatva, Samyak Mithyatva, and Samyaktva Prakriti. Okay. And the Charitra Mohaniya has like the 16 plus 9 Kashayas, like Anantanubandhi Krodhamana Maya Lobha, Apratyakhyana Krodhamana Maya Lobha, Pratyakhyana Krodhamana Maya Lobha, Sanjvalana Krodhamana Maya Lobha, and Nau Kashaya. Nau Kashaya is very like subtle Kashayas. They are not as powerful as these four categories of Kashayas. So like it's like Hasya, Rati, Arati, Bhaya, Shoka, Jigupsya, Stri Veda, Purush Veda, Napumsha Veda. Okay. So based on the subsidence or the destruction or the partial destruction, partial subsidence of these karmas, there are 5 types of bhavas in jiva, the dispositions. So those are called aupshamika bhava, where this Mohaniya and Darshan Mohaniya and Charitra Mohaniya subsided. Okay. And the next one is Kshayik. So, I mean, I got a little bit more information while listening to the discourse. So, if this Mohaniya karma, there are 3 types of Mohaniya karma. Darshan Mohaniya. And the Charitra Mohini, there's like 25 kashayas, correct? Maybe I'm wrong. So when you call Aupshamikis, if not any of these karmas are when they're subsided, there also we'll get a like self-realization that is called Aupshamika Sammyakatva. So, I mean, while looking into the Gunasthanas, we come to know why we come to 2, why we come to 3. There it is called, what is the bhava exist in disposition in each of the these Gunasthana states. Okay. So I think this brief information is enough, I believe, but if any questions, you can stop me. Whatever I know, I can tell.
I just want to make one correction. You are saying you're using the wrong word. It's more like suppressed, not subsidized. Word you're
It is
using.
given in the book like state of subsidence or suppression. It's subsidence. Maybe I'm wrong.
Let me find out if
suppression is definitely the one everybody can understand. I think where it is suppressed.
Think if you tell me the page numbers, we might want to change that. That may not be accurately describing it.
Okay.
And also state of destruction. You might want to clarify that too, of Mohaniya karma. It's only that, not all karmas are destroyed yet.
Yes. Yes. Darshan Mohaniya karma.
I would say actually subsidence is a better word than suppression. Suppression gives the impression of something forceful, whereas subsidence is like naturally falling and declining. So I think that's actually the better word as far as I understand it. Anyway.
Okay. So, okay, iska bhav hai, you know, in class, we did the example of, let's say there's a bucket of water with dust or sand, right? And then it's dirty water, right?
Yeah.
And then either you just leave the bucket, slowly the dust will go down, or you put fitkari or whatever the case may be, right?
That is subsidence. That is subsidence.
So
not
that
suppression.
is subsidence.
It settles down and looks clean, but it is underneath. It is settled down.
It's still there, but it's
okay. Subside. That's right. Subsided, like the chemistry word subsided. Fine. That's okay. Okay.
But subsidence is permanent. I think this Aupshamik is a temporary state, though, right?
Yes. So subsidence, is that a permanent state, you think?
So
how is it used in the
No, it's saying that it's still there.
I think suppression. The definition
suppression
I
gives
looked up when I prepped for Panchbhav is it's karma is there, but it's just not producing its effect. So it's temporarily suppressed.
It just subsided.
The duration also of Aupshamik Bhav is actually less than 1 of the Muhurat, less than 48 minutes. It's a very temporary,
Let's
unstable
think about it a little bit. And if there is yet another word that describes it better, we can. I mean, that's sort of why we discuss these things in class, so we can accurately describe these terminologies. So, okay. So, Bahubaliji, where you say state of destruction of Darshan Mohaniya, just to be more accurate, because otherwise, in general, obviously, the destruction word is a negative word. So, if you don't describe, then it doesn't give that same bhava.
So like the other 3 bhavas are like the dispositions are like Chayopashamika. So here state of partial destruction of the Darshan Mohaniya and partial destruction of the partial subsidence of the Darshan Mohaniya. So Audayika is what, like that is the bhava where it arises based on the rise of the karmas or fruition of the karmas. When you get the fruit of the karmas, where soul out of ignorance, it will respond, so it will be impure. So that's Audayika. And Parinamika bhava is the natural inherent state. That's where the Siddhatva, like when the soul attains Siddhatva, or it is there all along. But where the vibrations happens, the vibrations can be like these other four bhavas can be there. So the Gunasthana is nothing but it is thesis of spiritual development for all living beings based on these dispositions. Okay, so we can, if you want to define the soul is at what level of state, as for the Shraddha Guna and Charitri Guna, the faith and conduct attributes of the soul at
Mhm.
any given point of time can be defined based on these dispositions. Okay. So there are 14 stages of Gunasthana, like Mithyatva, Sasadhana, Samyak Mithyatva, Avirat, Teshvirat, Pramatta Sanyat, Apramatta Sanyat, Apurvakarana, Anivrittikarana, Sukshma Samparaya, Upashantamo, Kshinamo, Sayokyali, Ayokyali. Okay, so Mithyatva Gunasthana is this is at the soul at this state has a distorted or incorrect understanding about the fundamental principles, like Prayojana Bhuta Tattva. We learned about 7 fundamental principles, as well as it has a distorted, incorrect understanding about the fundamental elements. We have the 6 dravyas, 6 types of dravyas. So because of this misunderstanding or incorrect understanding, the soul does not trust or does not show any interest in knowing the real essence of the soul, as well as the path of the soul towards its liberation. Like it does not trust, it does not show interest in knowing what is Deva, what is Shastra, what is Guru and their teachings, to know the difference between self and non-self. Okay. So there are 2 types of mityatvas. I don't know whether let me go in like 1 or 2 sentences, because we are in the mithyatva state. So the jiva in the mithyatva state, mithyatva gunasthana, has acquires this kind of misunderstanding. Those misunderstanding can be are it acquired through 2 types of activities, correct? Like one is agrahita mitya darshana, other one is grahita mitya darshana. So agrahita mitya darshana is kind of like it is inborn, or it is there when you're born. That means it's been acquired already. This kind of misunderstanding, incorrect, false belief are there when you're born with. These are not acquired yet. So here it is the soul, when this kind of belief is there, it is by default, it will be incorrectly believing in the non-self object, like material object, like the body and soul is one, like that it is. So it affects all living beings, even the Stavar Jivas. Stavar Jivas are the one-sensed creatures, like Nigoda Jiva, like Vanaspati Kayaka, Jal Kayaka, Agni Kayaka. So even forget about the 2 sense, even it affects the single one-sensed creatures also. So next one is the Grahita Mitya Darshana, Grahita Mityatva. So when the soul already influenced by incorrect understanding, it acquires or adopts new misunderstandings about the fundamental principles, or about the nature of the reality. Okay, so there is soul and body are one, or they're inseparable, those kind of things. So it acquires through different ways, like the thought process can be ekanta mityatva. That means it always thinks about only one aspect is true, everything else is false. Like for example, I mean, Jiva is nitya, anitya. So it thinks that no, it is anitya, nitya, something like that. And viparita mityatva is where it opposite belief to what is the truth is. Okay, so body and soul is, we come to always, that is since we learned, I can always say about that. Body and soul are always different, but no, it's say like it is one. Okay. So next practice is samsaya mityatva. It's like it's always in ambiguity, always in skepticism. You say something, always try to spin it in different way. Okay. So that is samsaya mityatva. And then vinaya mityatva is where soul does believe in everything, like all dogmas, all religion, all gods are like, okay, they're all real. Everything is true. Everything is reality. It's like that. It accepts. It's like Vinay. It's like it's very like not harsh to anything. Okay, go to the Tirupati, also worship that. Go to the Tirthankari, worship that also. Go to the Ganesha, worship that. Okay, all God is one. That kind of Vinay Mitya. Okay. So Ajnana Mithyatva is like indifference to right or wrong belief. So it does not see any difference between those. So these kind of practices, where by practicing this kind of attitude, it adopts new misunderstanding. Okay. So these two types of mithyatva, because of this, soul,
Wait,
is.
can I just ask a question,
Sure.
Bahubali or somebody? Just these ones, Adnyan and Vinay, they seem very similar. So what's the difference? Because Vinay is accepting all beliefs basically, and Adnyan is indifference to right and wrong belief.
Where did you get these explanations, Bahubaliji?
I got somewhere I was looking for, so I did not get from our lessons. I got it
Not
for
from the
some.
book. Okay. No, we discussed this in detail in class. Okay.
Yeah.
So Vinay is, it's really not necessarily believing everything is equal. Vinay is more like, okay, I think I understand my God. Okay. So we know suppose in class, right now, you know Vitragi Bhagwan is the real God, right? Yet you go to the temple, now your friend is having a havan, right? Now you went there and you would just say, okay, chalo abhi friend ke samne kya hum haath bhi nahi chode, it doesn't look nice. So let's believe in their God too, because we came for the friend's thing. So you're being courteous to the friend. And in doing so, you are wavering your belief. That is Vinay Mithyatva. Agnan with Mithyatva is I don't even know the fundamentals. So obviously there is no chance of any, samyaktva or right belief.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked you where you got it. So again, look at the book again. I think that would
Yeah.
be
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. These are the things last minute I did add. I mean, these explanations were not there in the lesson, so I thought, okay, just at least mention
Maybe
these.
not this one, but previous lessons I
Yeah.
think.
Yes. Definitely, it is. We
Right.
learned. Okay. So yeah, this mithyatva gunastan, where soul does not have judgment of self and non-self. Okay. So and the example they gave is because of mithyatva, soul, jiva, does not show any interest. So they gave an example is like even a person with a heavy fever, high fever would taste sweet as bitter, like that. He does not have any interest. Yes, he does not have any interest. That kind of state it is. They gave the analogy of this one. And in this mithyatva, the disposition is audayika bhava. Okay. And then the kala, the duration of this mithyatva is like anadi ananta. Like it can be I think it is abhavya jiva, not bhavya jiva, sorry. This one is. So abhavya jivas are the durandura bhavya jivas. I mean, durandura bhavya is like stuck in nigod forever. Abhavya is that jiva with that attribute. It never comes out of mithyatva. So that's what it is, anadi ananta. That means beginningless to endless time. Okay. So there are, based on the anadi sant, means it was beginningless time. It was mithyatva till this time. Now with the practice, it got the sammyakatva. It means it realized, it attained the right belief of the path and of the real essence of the souls and fundamental principles and fundamental elements. Okay. So there is one, the other one is gamanagaman. So like from what stage of the spiritual ladder a soul can fall to this one or this mithyatva gunasthana, and from this mithyatva gunasthana, the what level of gunasthana it can achieve, it can reach. That means what level of impurity, from impurity it comes down to mithyatva, and then what are the self-oriented effort or the purushartha it can make to go to different higher levels of gunasthana, or the purity of this shraddha and charitra. So from this Mithyatva Gunasthana, you remember other day I shared the chart where it talks about it put in a tabular form like different Gunasthanas.
the Gunasthanan, that's right.
Yeah. So it can go to like Samyak Mithyatva, Deshavirat, Avirat Samyakatva, Deshavirat, and Apramat Sayat, like 3, 4, 5, 7. And Jiva can, after attaining moksha, also, I'm not sorry, after attaining, realizing, or after attaining Samyakatva, can also come down to the Mithyatva can come back again, like it can come down to this stage, become a Mithyatvi. From this is Pramatta Sanyata, 6th is Pramatta Sanyata, 5th is Deshavirata, 4th is Avirat Samyakata, and definitely the Samyak Mithyatva, the 3rd Gunasthana, Sasadhana. So this is Gamanagama. These things I just added in each of these moving forward.
Quick question, Bahubali. So you're saying from first Gunastan you can go to 3, 4, 5, and 7.
Yes.
And you can come down to first from 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, right?
Yes.
Any reason that we cannot go from first to sixth?
First to 6, I mean, but it has to go through so you're saying like,
Arunji, think about it. What would be the reason? You should know by now.
Yeah.
No, but the point
Can
is
you
we
in
also
Mithyatvi
can go
state,
from,
can you become a Muni? What is 6th Gunstan?
I don't remember right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the 4th Gunasthana is the Avirat Samyakatva. That means we talked about these Darshan Mohiniya, there are 3 parts, correct? Like Mithyatva, Samyak Mithyatva, Samyak Prakriti. So I think Prabhaji can explain more, but
Okay,
first
so
time,
अपने शास्त्रों के अनुसार 6th Gunstan is Munipad, right? So you cannot, your soul is not purified enough to feel in reality to give up the world and follow the Munikad. Even though it happens, like क्या बोलते हैं, द्रव्य से कई लोग दीक्षा ले लेते हैं, पर वो भावलिंगी संत नहीं कहलाते if they don't have Samyak Darshan. So Samyak Darshan is a requirement to become Muni, which means they
Prabhaji,
have
इसमें
to
लिखा
cross
है कि you
4th
can go from
Gunstan.
first to seventh.
First to?
7th, right? It can
No,
See,
no,
there is
no.
there are
You have to go.
no there is a the base. See, like you cannot. They have to be previously the Samyakatvi. They have either Upshav Samyakatvi or Shav Samyakatvi. It has to be. There is a condition. It's not like straightforward. If I am a Mithyatvi, I cannot go directly to 4th. I cannot directly go to. Cannot
No,
directly
you
go to
can
5th.
go
I cannot
directly to
directly go
4th.
to
That is not
7th.
a problem. You don't need to go to 3rd.
Yeah.
That is fine. You can go from 1 to 4.
1 to 4th I can go, but I
through
cannot.
4 and 5 to go to 6th.
Yeah. So, like, let's say if there is Samyakatvi
And
and
7th
based
is
on the
only conditional. 7th is
conditional.
the way, and we discussed all this in
Yeah.
class. I know not everybody can remember everything, but so suppose you are Mithyatri, right? Now you got the few Samay experience, and of course the true Shraddha. You went to 4th. Then you took some vows that you went to 5th. Now, the reason you directly go from 5th to 7th is first time you you are considered to be the Muni Dasha is in the meditative state. And then you may come out of that meditative state, which will be called the 6th Gunisthana. That's the only difference between 7th and 6th. So all it is saying is, so if you are in 5th and you are in that meditative state to that level, now you're ready for the Munipad, even though the physical Diksha and all that like can follow. But then in the Muni Dasha, you're always going back and forth between 6th and 7th, unless you can, usko bolte hain Shreni Chadna, which means you go from 7th to 8th, and then it's a very small time frame where the person can go quickly from 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, or 8, 9, 10, and 12, jump to 12th, and then 13th.
Yeah. So like Mithyatvi, first time, like take my example, I'm Mithyatvi. I never had the Samyakatva. Okay. I cannot go to the 5th and 7th for sure. So if I became a Samyakatvi, but for some reason rise of the Darshan Mohini, one of the Samyak Mithyatva or Mithyatva or some Kashaya like that, if it rises in my practice, something goes bad, so I'll come down, I become a Mithyat. For those jivas, once already they became Samyakati, they came to the Mithyatva, then they have, with their Purushartha, they can go to the 5th and 7th from first itself. Like not the first timers. Okay. So the second one is Sasadana Samyaka, Sasadana Gunasthana. This Gunasthana is where soul in a state where it is falling from the right belief. That means where it attained the Samyakatva, and then it is because of the rise of the passions like Kashayas, so it is falling down. Okay, so it is falling down from the, so here Gamana, it is falling down from 654, like it is Jiva in Avirat Samyakatva or Deshavirat or Pramatta Sanyat, like Muni or the Kshulak or the Shravak that just attained vowless Samyakatva. With the rise of the passions, the karmas, it will, because of the nimitta of those, it will come down. There is the purity of the Shraddha and Charita affected. It become impure. So there is a falling state. It is always falling state. They give an example like a fruit falling from the tree. It is just left the pure state, Samyakatva state, and then it is about to go to the Mithyatva state. So at this point of time, it does not even experience right, wrong. It does not have right belief, does not have wrong belief. So this is it's a falling state. They call it as a like the fruit falling from the tree. It is in between state. It's like Trishanka Sthiti we call. I mean, in other religion they call it Trishanka Sthiti. So
basically what they're saying is they got the Kashaya Bhav. Okay, he's still not completely Mithyatvi because he hasn't fallen down on the ground yet, which means he hasn't come to the first Gunasthan. But his character has changed. He got that slight Kashaya Bhav and he's on the way to the Mithyatva. So second happens only on the way down, not on the way up.
Yeah. So that's what the instrumental cause here is, like the fruition from any of the Anantanubandhi Kashaya. Like so the Anantanubandhi, see, when first time Samyakatva happens, Anantanubandhi Kashaya will be subsided or destroyed. Correct? We have the Samyak, Aupshamik, Kshayikas. So here it is definitely, it's not Kshayik Samyakatva. Definitely they're coming from the Aupshamik, Kshayapshamik Samyakatva. So that means it comes back actually.
Only fall down to the 4th Gunasthan because he has eradicated all the Darshan Mohini.
Yes.
Right? Now the one who had suppressed and gone up. Right, remember we said agar chingari ko daba diya, to wo kabhi bhi wapas.
So this is that state, correct? So here it is very, very short duration. This Gunasthana's duration is very short. They call it like a minimum is one samaya. One samaya is like in 1 second, there are asankyat, innumerable avalis are there. So in each avali, there is asankyat, innumerable samayas are there. So that means you cannot even measure that. Once samaya is a unit of measure for the time. That means that's like the smallest thing. So the Sasadhan's duration is 1 samaya minimum. Maximum is 6 avali.
Okay, I think we can speed up a little bit now, Bahulvaliji. It's we have taken up already half an hour or more. So
okay, so I'll go a little bit speed. So this is the pattern I put it, and I collected.
Okay. I mean, you put in all the details, which is great for people to.
No, but that's okay. I'll go faster.
Sure.
Okay. So third one is Samyak Mithyatva. This is the state where Jiva experiences mixed bhavas, like it has a mix of the right belief as well as the false belief. Okay, so this is again, does not. So that's what it is. It's experiences that one, and gamana is it can from here. It's they call it as a wiggling tooth. The example is so if you work on your tooth, it can become strong. It stay back. Or if you do not, it'll fall back. Like that's what they say, like a wiggling tooth. It's like, okay, it can put more Purushartha, go to 4th stage. If not, it'll come down to the first one. So Mithya Gunasthana. So the dispositions can be here like the Kshamik Bhava, they say. So next one is Avirat Samakatva. It is the Samakat Jiva attains right belief, but no woes. It is not observing any woes. Okay. Avirata. There are no rutas observed here. Okay. This is where the important state of any soul, where it realizes it not only understands, it realizes that I am the knower, I am the supreme self, and everything else is object of my knowledge. It's a reflection in my knowledge, and all the distorted bhavas comes in me are temporary, not mine. That kind of experience, self-realization happens. Okay, so that is the Avirat Samakatva. And again, its duration is Antarmurta. And Gamna is, yeah, I mean, I put it here. So the next one is Deshavirat Gunasthan. This is where it is the purity, the experience of the bliss is more commonly happen. It's often it happens. And here it is the minor woes have been observed here in this state. Jiva would observe like Desha Sanyat, Desha Charit, means there is partial restraint and partial conduct. But they outside they appears to be like, if you look at Shullak Munis and all, they appears to following everything, but they say like it is partial. So like the Indriya Sayama, they will definitely follow the Sthavar and thrust Jiva, correct? Like 2 cents onwards, they will definitely not cause a himsa to those, but 1 sensed, they will not be able to restrain from that. That means its partial woes have been observed here. Okay, so again, duration is 48 minutes. So next one is Pramatta Sanyat. It is a monk with mild negligence. So here a soul has taken a Muni Vruta, but there is still the negligence is there. Okay. But the complete renunciation of the Sanyama is there, like a renunciation of the violence, like a renunciation to Indriya Sanyama and Prani Sanyama. It's complete control of the senses are there, complete control of the avoiding the himsa to the prani is there. So in this Gunasthana, Jiva observes 28 Mool Guna. Okay, so those are like 5 Mahavratas, 5 Samitis, 6 Avashakas, and Indriya Sayama, 5 Indriya Sayama, and then the nudity, the Nagnatva, Keshavalochan, Asnanata, Bhumishayana, Adnana, and Adanta Dovana, and single meal, and taking food while standing. These 28 Mula Gunas have been observed by the Jiva in this stage, but it has a minor negligence. So because of this minor negligence, it can go to the like 5th, like it can go to the 5th Gunasthana, 4th Gunasthana, or even it can go to 2nd, 3rd and become Mithyatvi also. Okay. So that is this Pramatta Sanyat. Pramatta means negligence. Okay. So next one is Apramatta Sanyat. Here monk with no negligence. It is completely restrained, and it say like, okay, it is free from 15 types of negligence, like pramadas, like we learned about 5 vikatas like Stri Katha, Bhokta Katha, Raja Katha, Rashtra Katha, and then Kashayas, like it is completely ignorance. It does not have negligence about the passions. It's completely, and five senses, it complete control, and sleep and sneha. It's that. So there are two types in this gunasthana. When jiva in this apramatta shayat, it can be in two states, like these the monk with definitely the negligence is not there, but a little bit ordinary in their practices. Okay, if that what happens, then there is a savikalpa anubhava happens. That means they tend to even to help devotees or help the people in the path of the liberation. They can come down. They will write. They will give discourse and write scriptures or those kind of things. So when the jiva in this state, swasthana apramatsayat, it can go to sixth. That's what in our lessons, a soul in seventh can be oscillating between sixth and seventh. Okay, they can be, even though the meditation is non-deliberate activity in this, but there are some variety, the variation in the purity. So it's a little bit lower part of the purity, it can go to the sixth gunasthana and do the external activity, like even the preaching and all. Okay. So other one is Satishya Pramatta Guna, Satishya Apramatta Sanyat. Here it is the intense effort here. So it can, from seventh, it can go to eighth. So eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, or 8th, 9th, 10th. Correct? So no, I think I'm talking about the Sreni, who is going to go to Sreni. So 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so
Shreni starts at 8th. Okay, requires the extra Purusharth. From 7th, once he goes to 8th, then he is quickly progressing. That's the way it is.
So jiva in this gunasthana with Satishya Apramatsayat, it can go to that Sreni, it can attain moksha suddenly from 8, 9, 10 to jump to the 12th. Once it go to the 12th, that is Sukshma Samparaya, it will definitely go to the Kshina Moha and then Sayog Kelya. So there are two types of states in this gunasthana. Okay, so definitely this is no negligence, and meditation is the non-deliberate activity. That means it by default they are in meditation without any effort. So next is Apurva Karana. Apurva Karana Gunasthana is jiva here. It has unprecedented the experience of bliss, of the purity here. It's in this Gunasthana, jiva for the first time see the purity never had seen in the previous. It never happened before, that kind of thing. Okay. So this is the 8th Gunasthana, where they call this the Sreni Chadna, the ladder where it is quicker in its liberation, based on whether the Kshaik Samakatva or Aupshamik Samakatva. So it can go to 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 is Upshantamo, that the Shapak. So Upshanta Moha, it can, from there it can come down again back to Nithyatva also, the possibility. But it can go to the Kshina Moha, it go to Skrina Moha, then it will be going to the moksha. So Apurva Karana is where it is unprecedented dispositions, but the purity at every moment it's going to increase. Here it is intense sadhana going on, intense meditation going on, intense realization going on in this Apurva Karana. So Anivritti Karana it's better than, it's more the higher version of the previous. Definitely the purity is increasing, but they say like from here every moment of time it is increasing, but it gives some comparison, like jiva at each samaya, let's say at samaya 1, if jiva come to this one, it has the same kind of purity, like a level of purity, informed disposition. That's what I understand.
Okay. Honestly, these details are not worth focusing on or memorizing.
Yeah.
Like, at least for your level right now.
Yeah.
Just understand that these are the differences. Like, basically, how do they explain to you the differences between 8th Gunistan and 9th Gunistan? Again, this is all Kevali Gamya. We will not be able to ever, even if we are in that state, won't be able to see all this. But it's progressively soul
Progressively getting
purification.
purer.
But Kevali can see other jivs also. So they can see that, okay, everybody's progressing, but then in the later stage, somebody could have started late and still catch up and all that. But as far as Tattva Gyan is concerned, it's not that critical to be very well versed with all this. So just keep that in mind.
So by this time, like the Anantanubandhi, Apratyakana, Pratyakana, the Krodhamanamaya, those Kashayas are either completely suppressed or completely destroyed. Only the Sanjvalana and now Kashaya left here. Okay, that is so in the Sukshma Sampradaya, that is the 10th Gunasthana, where it is the passions are very subtle. That means the now Kashaya, very subtle, very subtle. It's like it's a, as Prabhaji said, like, I mean, we cannot even explain those things, so we can just know that it's
Honestly,
subtle.
all this is supposed to give you Mahima of the Sarvagyata. It's not as critical whether we know all these details, but the fact that a Sarvagya can know so much detail. Think about it. All these Gunasthans one could do within less than a minute also.
Yes.
And Sarvagya can see all these details, can know all these details.
Yeah. So as it say, like in this state, infinite purity maintained in every moment. I mean, we don't know what is infinity, correct? So, but there is completely pure. So the next one is 11th Gunasthana, the Upshanta Moa, Upshanta Kashaya Gunasthana. Here it is completely the passions and whatever the left, correctly, Sanjvalana, the Kashaya is completely suppressed here. It is, I mean, they compared as it's a Vitaragata here also. I mean, and also it's a Purna Sukha here.
What they're saying is only the person whose Monya karmas are subsidized or suppressed is easier to say in this situation. Or suppressed will go to 11. The person who has destroyed those karmas does not even go to 11.
Yeah. So they say like Vitaragata, they say.
Upshant, because the karmas are suppressed.
So there's 11th and 12th are called Vitaragata state, where there's complete Vitaragata is there. But 11th is still, since it is in suppressed mode, subsided mode, they can again come down the ladder also. That's possibility is there. So next one is 12th Kshina Kashaya, Kshina Mohan. So this is where all the karmas other than the Sanjvalana, like Charitra, the subtle Kashayas, everything else is destroyed. The destruction of the deluding karma, it's the Darshan Mohani karma is completely destroyed here. So from here, it is suddenly there is no time, within no time it can go to Sayog Kevali. Sayog Kevali is where it is a Kevala Jnana, soul attains the Kevala Jnana or omniscience, but still there is bodily activities going on, like the Divya Dhvani will be coming, the body is there, Man Vachan Kaya. So, but it is there no new karmas bound here. Okay, so that's what this completely, and it's say like we attained the like Ananta Jnana, Ananta Darshan, Ananta Charitrya, Ananta Virya. Okay, and then Ananta Virya means like Dana, Labha, Bhoga, Upabhoga, those Ananta. It's an infinite time. That's what the bliss at this is called Ananta Sukha, because there is Ananta Veera is there. So it can actually experience even Ananta in the 11th and 12th, even the Ananta Sukha is there, they are not experiencing that Sukha because that Veera Guna is not completely become pure. So Sayava Kevali is a Kevali with the body. Ayog Keval is where the Keval, the Paramatma or Supreme Soul, where it is attained Kevala Dhyana, and also body it attains the Siddhatva. Here it is, it's just duration is extremely short here. It is pronunciation of 5 vowels. So then it becomes Siddha after this.
Okay.
So,
you put there all non-destructive aghati karmas are destroyed. Did you
it
make
talks
it
about
up? Did
the whatever the body, correct? Like
Yeah, so you have to
Aga.
specify, otherwise it's going to be misunderstood. So this is those, so all the ones that affect the soul, okay, destroy, cannot let the soul attributes show, are the ghati. Aghati only means that they don't affect the soul, they affect the body.
In the 13th Gunasthana, all Gati already gone.
Right.
So in the 14th, whatever the body left, I mean, they say correct, like
Right.
till they
Karmas that are going to affect the body, they cannot now affect the soul anymore.
Yeah. And also when the time, also they go on their own time, because here Jiva does not have control.
Right.
Yeah.
13th is Arihant Avastha, correct?
Right.
The Siddha, yeah.
No, I think 13th is not Siddha Avastha, is Arihant Avastha.
13th is
No,
Arihant.
because, Arihanta.
Yes.
And on the way to becoming Siddha, they
Siddha
quickly
is
pass through
end
14.
of 14th technically, but yeah, 14th is very, very small. So they're just while it's on the way to Siddha. Yes.
All right, that's sorry, it took more time, but
no problem. It's good job. You compiled everything. It's great. But there are a few maybe imperfections which I'll point out later at some point. We'll discuss that and fix it.
Yeah.
So in 12th Gulistan, are you beyond rebirth at that point in time, or you still?
Yes, the one that comes in 12th will definitely go to 13th.
11th is where it is.
11th is where it stops, where if you don't convert, I mean, actually, if you do not destroy all the darshan monia in 10th, then you don't jump to 12. And if you go to 11, then you are going to fall down.
So from 11th, you cannot go to 12.
Yes.
So from 11th, you can go to 10 or 4.
Yes. That's where you can see that chart Bahubaliji had shared before. So
how does one go to 12
purposes, because these are not things you can memorize or not so important either to memorize. You can refer
to. Just curious. I mean, you're saying you can't go to 12 from 11th.
That's correct.
So one has to jump?
Yeah, they have to jump from 10th to 12th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Same thing, you have to jump from 1 to 4.
Yeah. You cannot go to 2.
Yeah.
2 is a falling one.
And usually not even 3. 3 are again rare. It doesn't happen usually.
Correct. Yeah. 3 is also falling, but if you are previously Samyakatvi, then you can go to 3.
Yes.
So 11th is a very short duration Gunistan.
Yes. The whole thing is very short, even from 8th to 13th is also very short.
Only the Mithyatva is the one we can enjoy.
Right.
For eternally also.
So Mithyatva, then 5th Gunistan, 6th, all those, are longer durations. Yes. Okay. All done, Bahubaliji?
All right. All done. Thank you.
Okay, so you can stop sharing now. And let's do the questions real quick. And everybody else can turn their videos on now.
Okay. Okay, so how do I stop? Okay.
Okay, good. All right, so now let's do your questions. Okay, so you started out saying something like it is Dravya, Gun, or Paryay, or something you heard in Sanjeev Ji's lectures or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So use your knowledge so far, where do you think these gunasthans are happening?
The gunasthans are happening in the sense like Jiva's attributes only. It's a variation of the Shraddha Guna and Charitra Guna. It's but
Right?
yeah.
So between Dravya Gun and Paryay, think about the definitions of those. What is Paryay?
It happens in the Paryaya.
Okay,
Paryaya of the
got it.
Paryaya of the
So because Paryay is a state which can
Yeah.
keep changing, right? And
Yeah.
they are happening in the Jeev because they're not happening in the Pudgal, obviously. Right?
Yeah.
So the Gunsthans actually describe the current state of your soul, which means it's a Paryay.
Yeah, no, I think in the discourse I heard, he is trying to tell that, okay, don't hold on to the Paryaya also if you want to be. So I think in that context,
I know. And how will that happen? Remember the Panch Bhav, we discussed the Parinamic Bhav is the natural state of the soul, right? So if you don't hold on to the Paryay, then you will naturally go to the natural state of the, that's what he meant when he's saying that, okay? So, okay. Now, second question. In the, I had my 3 questions ready when you were talking, and now I forget what was the second question.
You messed up your.
Okay. Because as you're speaking, I think, okay, I'm going to ask this, then it just vanishes from my mind. Okay, let's see. Okay. Right now, what Gunsthan can we accomplish in this current era that we are in?
We can accomplish fourth Gunasthan.
Yeah, you can definitely accomplish fourth.
So you ask what Gunasthan we can accomplish
Yes,
or what
how much
Gunasthan we
can
are in? I'm sorry, say
No,
again,
no,
please.
we are obviously not in fourth.
Yeah, definitely not. Yes.
Right.
Okay. So the question is what Gunasthan we can accomplish?
Yes.
Okay, the fourth and fifth.
Well, also sixth and seventh, technically, but you cannot go the Shreni nature.
Shreni you cannot. Yeah, like you can go up to seventh.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, and this is again, nobody is causing it. It's just the nature of things that in the fifth ara, Jeeves cannot attain Moksh. That only happens in the fourth ara because the circumstances have to be that way. And Mahavidya Kshetra is the place where the circumstances are always like the fourth era. So there, all the time, Jivas are going to Moksha.
Okay, so the one thing is like they say like you cannot attain Shukla Dhyana. That means 8th, 9th, 10th, that's where the Shukla Dhyana starts. So that's why we cannot attain Shukla Dhyana.
Right. Okay. Because the Jeev cannot make as much effort to be able to stay with its true nature for that long.
Also, it's not physically also not built, I think, correct? That's also, I mean, externally, Nimitta also is not, will not
Yeah, I mean, just like we see in the world, like men cannot produce babies. Well, just the nature of things. I mean, there's no rhyme, reason for it. It's just, certain things you just accept. That's just the way things are. So, okay. Okay. What do you think is the key reason of the progression of these gunasthans or lack of it?
It is the right belief or in false belief. So right belief in the sense like Ratnatraya, like understand the essence of the fundamental elements, like how the fundamental elements and then belief in that. That's the right belief. So as like a distorted or incorrect belief or this we talked about.
That is required, but that is also nimitta karan. The real reason is your soul's effort, purusharth.
Correct.
So even to get to the fourth gunasthan, see, whatever you're described, that this is what the fourth gunasthan is all about, this is what the jeev is going to look like, it's going to do. That is just the external things that because that's something you can explain. But in reality, it's that effort which you apply. Pehle to agyan se gyan, ki right, what is the true nature you first know, then you firmly believe in it, and then you stay with that belief. That is the purusharth we all have to do, or we lack why we are not there yet.
That's what Samyak Jnana is, what the right knowledge you need to believe, and then have the faith in it, and Samyak Charitra is be there, like conduct, like three things.
Okay, so here is what it is. The Gyan comes first, which we are doing right now, right? We are getting the knowledge of the true nature of things. Knowledge हमको किसने दिया? Somebody who was सर्वज्ञ, right? तो हम ज्ञान कर रहे हैं अभी हम सम्यक ज्ञान नहीं कर रहे.
Correct.
So, but once we have that firm belief, then the same Gyan becomes Samyak Gyan.
Yes.
Okay. So, because of that, the order is Samyak Darshan, Gyan, and then Charitra. Now, even though karmas are nimit, right? Because the whole thing is related to Darshan Monia, Charitra Monia, karmas. But still, who is the real cause of all this?
Soul is the one.
Yeah, me.
Yeah,
right?
me,
You should always take it as me whenever you talk about soul.
Exactly.
So, which gives you that confidence. I can do it.
Yeah.
Right? Even though to explain, they will talk about the different situations of the karmas and what's happening, all those things. But the true gist of it all is I can do it with my own effort.
Yes.
Okay.
We learned the Upadana and Nimit.
Upadana and Nimit, right? So that's why now we know we don't focus on Nimit. Nimit will automatically happen.
It will be there,
right?
it will exist.
So because, okay, so there is all these karmas, right? Which, except for the few, we in Moksh Marg Prakashak in the second chapter, we will study that, all the 10 types of what happens to the karmas. So except for a very few, everything else, this being in the true nature of soul can eradicate a lot of karmas. Because otherwise, if that was not the case, how would one reach moksha?
Yeah.
Otherwise, constantly the cycle will keep going on.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's now spend some time going to our Moksh Marg Prakashak. Okay. So Moksh Marg Prakashak is written by Pandit Todarmalji. This is his original. He has done a lot of works, as we have read a few times in the Balbodh and Vitrag and Tattvagyan, that Pandit Todarmalji has done a lot of work. But this is his original, his own writing. So he studied so many granths and basically put the gist of it in this Moksh Marg Prakashak. He also thought of all the doubts, all the questions one would come up with, and put those as questions and then answered them. So the style is very good. Material is very comprehensive. So it's a very, very good granth. And it's worth reading again and again and again, because there is so much substance in it that as you read multiple times, you more understand more and more. And it covers a lot of basically substance, from the Mool Granths. Okay. And the interesting thing is that they say that he could not finish this Granth. And he was killed before he could finish this Granth. So, because in the book, every so often he writes, we will discuss this in the upcoming chapters. Sometimes there is these Panditjis have shivers where they discuss how many times that has been written and what has not been completed. In spite of that, it's a very good comprehensive Granth. Okay. So first chapter talks about Panch Parmeshti ke details. I mean, we've done them, of course, in Balbod all the way, but this is little more than, and then what a good teacher should be like, what a good student should be like, Vakta and Shrota, unke characteristics kya hone chahiye. So we can learn from it, maybe grasp what we could do as Vakta or Shrota. Okay, so we'll start. I'll share the book and we'll start reading.
You mentioned he was killed. How was he killed? Just curious.
I'm sorry, what?
Pandit Todamalji was killed.
Yes. Oh, yes. His story goes like this, that he was obviously a Shravak, he was not a Muni, but he believed in the truth and he would not waver, right? So he only spoke the truth. And somebody, even today, this happens where Jainism or any religion for that matter, koi agar achhi baat bol raha hai and somebody doesn't like it, they could play games with you. So somebody got jealous, did not like that he was being popular for whatever he was talking. They decided to play something on him, went to Raja and said something against him. And as a result, the king punished him with the elephant killing him. And the story is spoken basically to say that he, जो बोलते हैं ना, मर पच के भी सत्य को जानो, he did not even care about his life but wanted to stick to the truth. And when the elephant came to kill him, even the elephant is actually a Panchendriya Jeev, so it has the ability to think. The elephant did not want to kill him. He put his paw and just did not want to move, like to kill him. And Todarmalji had to say to him that, no, you do your job. You've been ordered to do this. And my body was going to leave one of these days anyways. So you are not responsible for my body to leave the soul, or vice versa, whatever, the soul to leave the body. So that's how the story is.
But that person who put the accusation against him, was it like a rival Jain sect or some like?
I don't think they talk about it much. I'm sure somewhere there is more detail about this because it's not so relevant. And these are common things that happen in life. So they don't really focus much on that person in the story.
Well, being trampled by an elephant isn't that common, but
What's that?
I mean, being trampled by an elephant is not that common, but maybe at that time it
Well, for
was.
that time, yes, that was one way they were punished. Or, Phansi ki saja. I mean, obviously, they were not shot or lethal injections were not there. So, yeah. So, okay. This is interesting what happened here. What do you guys see on your screen?
See the YouTube. I mean, not YouTube. Yeah, I think YouTube it is, yeah.
Why
I
are
mean,
you seeing? That's what I'm wondering.
The browser will see the internet, yeah.
Oh, wow. Why are you seeing? Oh, I must have clicked on the YouTube, or what happened here?
Now we can see the document.
So now you're seeing the document.
I don't know.
This
It
is still
shows.
showing
I think
YouTube.
it's
No,
you
I
opened
don't
it in
want to do that.
you opened it in internet, I think,
Oh my
correct?
God,
The
what's
browser.
going on? Okay, let me stop share and again try to see what I can do. Okay. That is interesting. Okay, let's try this again. I don't understand this. Why is it keeps clicking on YouTube?
You're
Wow.
trying to open
No, I
the
cannot.
link.
Okay, so let's see if, oh, you know what? Okay, I get it now. What's probably happened is I must have, yeah, now this is better, I think. Hopefully. Yeah. Okay, that's what I wanted. Okay, how's the orientation? Are you guys able to see me as well as the
Yes,
text?
yeah.
Okay. Like not on the corner, like somewhere lower bottom or something like that.
You
I mean,
are
it
on
depends.
the
It
picture
depends
bar.
where we're
We are
watching
on.
on.
We're all there.
I'm what?
So we are seeing everybody's photo, correct? I mean, everybody picture. So you are there in along with us
Oh, you're seeing
on the
everybody.
top. Yeah, and then yeah.
Well,
Oh,
it depends
oh.
what you're looking on. I mean, I'm on the iPad, so I can switch screens. Then I see the Pravanti screen, and you're in the corner, Pravanti.
Yeah,
So
that's what I
it
wanted
just
to
depends on what
show.
you're
Maybe mine,
using.
yeah, you guys have the gallery mode on, maybe. That's okay. Anyway, as long as mm, how do I make sure that, because whatever is mine is what ends up showing on the YouTube. So I'm trying to
Mine
figure
is
this out.
standard mode.
What did I do now? Did I remove everybody?
No, it's the same.
Oh well, whatever it is. Okay. If you have a problem reading, like if my face is hiding, then let me know. Okay. All right. So we will start with this. Mangalmay Mangal Karan वीतराग विज्ञान नमो ताहि जाते भय अरहंतादि महान करी मंगल करी हो महा ग्रंथ करण को काज जाते मिले समाज सब पावे निज पद राज. Okay. So Todarmalji starts with this Manglacharan that this Vitrag Vignan, he calls it the science of detachment, is very auspicious. And those are the people that we bow down to. Arihant Adi means Arihant, etc. The five Panchparameshti. Okay. And for this auspicious reason, I am writing this Granth, which is going to be beneficial to the society. For what reason? To find their own self. Pave Nij Padraj. Okay. All right. So now we can start reading. Who wants to go first?
I can start.
Okay,
yeah.
go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so I have the book in front of me, so I'll read it from here. So
Sure.
you want me to start from the translation of the?
For those who don't have the book in front of, just prompt me if I'm not scrolling enough. Okay.
Yeah. So should I read the translation from the Mangalacharan?
Yes.
Okay. So the science of non-attachment, passionlessness, is all blissful and the cause of bliss. I bow to that science by virtue of which the Arahants and Siddhas, omniscient gods, have attained the supreme state. Having made obeisance, I, Todarmal, endeavor to write this sacred book which may be instrumental in the manifestation of all spiritual traits and help achieve the state of self-rule. Now begins the sacred book titled Moksh Marg Prakashak, Illuminator of the Path of Liberation. The hymn of adoration follows. Namo Arahantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Airyanam, Namo Uvajjayanam, Namo Loe Savvasahunam. This is Namaskar mantra, benedictory incantation in Prakrit language, and is extremely blissful. Its Sanskrit version is as follows. Namo Arhadbhya, Namo Nama Siddhebhya, Nama Acharyebhya, Nama Upadhyayebhya, Namo Loke Sarvasadhubhya. Its meaning is this: obeisance to Arahant, adorable embodied omniscience, obeisance to Siddhas, liberated disembodied omniscience,
Mhm.
obeisance to acharyas, chief preceptors of the congregation of ascetics monks, obeisance to upadhyayas, teacher monks or preceptors, and obeisance to all sadhus, monks, completely possessionless naked monks in the universe. Thus, in this mantra, the obeisance namaskar is offered. Hence, it is called Namaskar mantra. Now we ponder over their distinguishing characteristics. The characteristics of arahantas. First,
So something I want you to note here, that we don't worry about the names or personages. Okay. If you notice, what we read here was obeisance to all sadhus, whatever, in the universe. So all we are saying is, it does not matter what you are labeled. If you have these characteristics, then to us, you are Aryantas and worth worshipping. So, for example, Gautam Gandhar was born what? Who will tell me?
He was a Brahmin, I think, right?
He was a Brahmin, right? But did he become Aryant?
Yes.
Not a Aryant.
Hmm?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, if he went to Moksh, obviously. He was in 13th Gunistan. Only then you can go to Moksh. You don't have to become a
Right.
Tirthankar, but
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have
yeah.
to become an Aryant, okay? So, what you were born, even if you were not born as a Jain, doesn't matter. As long as you have these characteristics is all we care. So do you understand how Jainism is not biased? It worries about the gunas, the characteristics, and not personalities, not personages. Okay, go ahead.
So, characteristics of Arahants. First, we ponder over the characteristics of the Arahants. He, the true believer, who having renounced the householder's life and accepted monk's conduct, ascetic life, has destroyed the four ghati karmas, obscuring karmas, through immersion in one's own soul's intrinsic nature, and in him are manifested the highest attributes of four infinites. Through infinite knowledge, ananta jnana, omniscience, he knows directly, clearly all substances, jiva, etc., simultaneously together with their infinite attributes and modifications. Through infinite perception, ananta darshan, omniperception, perceives all these substances in general, undifferentiatedly. Through infinite energy, ananta virya, he always holds such potency of knowing and seeing. Through infinite bliss, ananta sukh, he experiences imperturbable supreme bliss of beatitude. Further, who has attained the state of perfect serenity and peace by freeing oneself from all sorts of impure dispositions, like attachment, aversion, etc., and has achieved the state of supreme God of gods by becoming free from hunger, thirst, etc., birth, death, etc., all sorts of physical maladies, and whose body has turned into a supernatural param audarik body, having no weapon or clothing, and is devoid of censurable signs and symptoms of sex feeling, anger, etc., foul dispositions and emotions, and by whose sermons the Dharma Tirtha, the conducting of true religious path, prevails in the universe, by means of which the mundane beings attain welfare of the self, and who is found possessing different glories, wonders, and greatnesses, which are the cause for worldly people to believe his supreme lordship, and who is adored by the great personages like Indras, heaven's gods, and Ganadhars, the highest ranks of monks' orders, etc., for their own spiritual benefit. Thus, adorable in all respects is Sri Arhanta Dev. To him, I, Dodarmal, offer my salutation.
Okay. Well, the reading is quite easy. Unless you have a question, you can ask. But one question I want to ask you. So now it talked about all the characteristics inside and out, right, of an arhant. Now we just finished in the last thing that we did was Devagam Stotra. Remember that? So tell me, how would you connect Devagam Stotra with all this it's explaining about Aryans? What did Devagam Stotra say about this Paramaudarik Sharir and all that?
think Dipali had presented that Devagam Stotra last time.
But that doesn't mean only Dipali is going to pass that test on Devagam Stotra.
She has good notes about it.
No, you guys are supposed to know.
I don't remember.
What was the gist of
think
Devagam Stotra? Why
glorifying
was it there? Glorifying what?
Glorifying glorifying the nimitta to explain the. I mean, it's more of it's glorifying the effect because of the purity cause. I mean, it's in a way to glorify, but
The
it's
whole
actually
Devagam Stotra was written to say, why am I worshipping God?
It goes into detail. It goes into detail, not about. So first, they talk about in the first few stanzas. They talk about why we are not worshipping,
Exactly.
and then they talk about why actually we are worshipping. So by differentiating and I like that Devagam Stotra, because they actually tell you why we are not worshipping, not because you gave us the agams and because you gave us how to follow the tirths, or because you are such a able body or whatever it was. And then they actually tell you what we are worshipping for. So this actually
What characteristics are worth worshipping? See,
and this
that is what will get your firm conviction what a true God is and why we worship Tirthankars, Arihants, and not other gods.
This also clearly states it doesn't matter who that person is, as long as
Right.
they have these characteristics, they're God to us. It does not have to be Vishnu, Shiva, or somebody, only they can be God. But this also clearly states that we all have the ability, as long we have these characteristics or we are trying to achieve them, then one could be an Arihant or a Tirthankar.
Exactly. So we are not worshipping you even now. This paragraph explains all the characteristics, which means it's going to talk about the bodily characteristics of an Arihant also. But Devagam Stotra said, yes, you have all these external characteristics, but that is not why I'm worshipping you. I'm not impressed by this paramodaric body, which doesn't need to eat, doesn't need to excrete, doesn't get any sweat. That doesn't impress me enough.
Or it can do Akash Gaman, and it could
Right.
it has the cable gyan. It can see the past, future, and present of so many people's lives, or Sarva
Yeah,
Gyan.
even all those things don't impress me.
Yeah.
So we should know what is the true Bhagwan. Okay? So that is what is something to.
And again, that connects to the Gunastan, the first
Exactly.
Gunastan, that is the Mithyatva. So once
Right.
you
If you
know,
get entangled in this ki, oh my God, unka to body itna acha hai, unka ye hai, wo hai, then you're not in the right direction.
right, then you're more spending your time in, like, adoring Bhagwan Ji ki murti and doing tika and all that, which is
And
fine.
we notice, right, lot of bhajans, unke
Yeah.
mathe kundal and mathe, are bhai, wo to they gave up all this.
Right.
What are we praising all that?
Yeah.
So then we don't know the true, even the true characteristics of our Bhagwan.
Yeah, this one stanza is really interesting to see that how, it is connecting from the Devagam Stotra to the Mithyatva, what just Bahubaliji presented. And that is, as he said, you could enjoy the Mithyatva state forever, right?
Yeah, because you could go back and forth. Aaj ye appreciate kar liya, kal wo appreciate kar liya, and you kind of skip the what you were supposed to do. And that's what we've done, Anadi se, right? Remember, Anadi Sant. Anadi se hum mithyatva mein hain. Now we are getting the true knowledge, and hopefully that will end. Jo Anadi se chalta aa raha hai. Or at least we will be in the right path. Okay, I kind of, speaking of that, let me explain to you the Moksh, marg, Prakashak.
And this is what will help us to chud the Gunastans.
Now, why Todarmalji named this Granth so appropriately? What he's saying is, the path already existed. right? So, for example, if I wanted to come from Pittsburgh to Niagara Falls, that highway, that road already exists. No big deal. Somebody went on that road and put light, guided me how to go. That is what this book is. That we are shedding light on what you need to go get to Moksh marg, to be on the Moksh marg. And who can shed light? Those who have already traveled on that road. Obviously, only those people can talk about it, share what it is like.
Yeah, somebody who's living in India, and if you ask them, oh, how to get from Pittsburgh to Niagara Falls, they
Yeah.
wouldn't have the answer. So you
Exactly.
can only ask the answer to the one who has traveled on it.
Traveled, yes. So that is why this book is very appropriately named Moksh Marg Prakashak. Okay. All right. Dipali, if you want to read from, since I'm sharing the book already.
Actually, Auntie, I don't have a very good visibility of the text. So
Oh, are
I
you doing
will
it on
ask-
the phone? Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Somebody else can read
I
then.
can
Yes.
read. I can read.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Characteristics of Siddhas, liberated souls.
Mhm.
Now we meditate on the characteristics of Siddhas, liberated, disembodied omniscience.
Mhm.
He, the true believer, who having renounced the householder's life and by following the monk's conduct has attained the four infinities:
Mhm.
infinite knowledge, perception, bliss, and energy. On destruction of four gati karmas, obscuring karmas, and after lapse of some time, on destruction of the four agati karmas, non-obscuring karmas also, quitting the supernatural body, he reached at the summit of the universe by virtue of upward motion nature. There he attained the perfect liberated state by getting release from the association of all foreign substances, and whose soul's special units retained the shape of human form, that is a little less than the final body, and whose counter effect producing karmas got destroyed. Hence, all spiritual attributes like right belief, knowledge, perception, etc., got fully manifested in their natural states, and whose attachment with no karmas, body, etc., has ended. Hence, the immateriality, etc., all spiritual traits got manifested, and whose bhava karmas, psychic impure dispositions like attachment, aversion, etc., are destroyed. Hence, the manifestation of imperturbable, holy, blissful form of pure self-nature is continuing incessantly, and by whose meditation the capable souls, bhavya jivas, attain the discriminative knowledge of the self-substance and non-self substances, and of alien impure dispositions evolving due to rise of karmas, and natural dispositions evolved in the absence of karmas, and by virtue of which the means of attaining siddhahood is achieved. Therefore, for attaining one's own pure nature, which is only worth attaining, the Siddhas, serve as images for exhibiting it, and who have become Kritikritya,
Kritya. Mhm.
Kritikritya, attained the supreme attainable, hence continue to dwell in such a perfect blissful state infinitely. Our salutations to such accomplished Siddhas.
So now here in the Siddha state, now we don't see any bodily descriptions because there's no body, right? So it's all just pure soul. All the gun characteristics have now come to its perfection, right? Then everything that they wanted to attain has been attained. So all the work is done. The Kritkritya word is anything I wanted to do is done, right? So they have nothing left to do. So they are akarta swabhavi. There's no need for them to do anything. Just be there. That's it. So be how? In that perfect blissful state for infinite times in the future. And that we bow down to. Okay. Any questions here? Now, this thing about a little bit less. So, what happens is whenever the soul reaches Siddha, Siddhatva rather, so the soul's nature is okay. So, right now, it's holding down by the weight of karmas, Udgal body, all that, right? Once all the karmas also leave the soul, and then the body leaves finally, it's kind of I mean it's a bad comparison, but sort of like a helium balloon. It becomes so light it naturally goes up. Now if let's say you're having a party and there's a helium balloons in the hall, what happens if a kid removes the wherever it was tied?
Goes up
Goes up how far?
till hits the ceiling.
Yes. So what is the ceiling in this lok?
Alok Akash.
So alok akash you cannot go.
Yeah.
Ceiling for lok akash is
Siddhalok.
Siddhashila.
Yeah.
That when we see that akimbo, the Jain the
Yeah.
symbol, right? The top part is small, but that's the highest place one can go. Now the other characteristics is because there is no pudgal involved, it's going in the shape, the last shape. If they were standing in meditation, it will go in that shape. If they were sitting in meditation, it will go in that shape. And the size, there is no size because there is no pudgal, but there's still a form. And
Pradesha.
yes, it will be slightly less than whatever the size of the body was. Now, the other characteristics is it does not, you can have multiple, rather infinitely souls within the same space. So because of that, you don't need much space up there. Okay. Okay, somebody can read the general characteristics of Jain monks now.
Prabhaji, what is no karma? There's a word called
So no karma is your circumstances. What you get in the fruition of the karmas. जब कर्म का उदय आता है, तो आपको जो circumstances मिलते हैं, that is all no karma.
So in Bahubali's document, he had no karma.
There was no kashai.
No
There was
kashai.
not no karma.
Oh no, sorry, no
There's a
kashai.
difference.
No kashai.
Okay.
Yes. No kashai are those 9, quasi passions, they call it.
So
like
that actually means that no there means 9, but in
Yes.
no karma it's a different meaning.
That's a different meaning. Yeah, that's correct. Yes.
We studied this concept in that karma theory where, the no karma and
Yeah.
then dravya karma. Basically, the karmas get attached to your body, but they stay in the warehouse and they will come when the delivery time is available.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I understood the cycle
So
of
this body is the no karma.
That's
Correct? There is
correct.
no karma, bhava karma. This body is no karma. One
No
of
karma.
the
Yes. Basically, the result of
or all the relations, the spouse, those are all no karma.
everything is no karma. Okay. Go ahead. Who wants to read? Arunji, you want to read?
Sure. General characteristics of Jain monks, Acharya, Upadhyaya, and Sadhus. Now we look into the characteristics of Acharya, Upadhyaya, and Sadhu, all passionless, naked Jaina monks. He, the right believer, who having become dispassionate and indifferent to worldly pleasures, relinquished all kinds of possessions and attachments and accepted Shuddhopa Yoga, pure passionless conduct of self-absorption, form of monk's conduct, experiences internally through that Shubhopa Yoga, his own self to be the self soul only, never feels I-ness in other objects, and believes one's own sentient nature only as one's own, never feels mindness in alien dispositions, and whatever other substances and their characteristics appear in knowledge. He, of course, knows them, but he does not have attachment, aversion feelings in them by treating them as agreeable or disagreeable. The body language undergoes different changes. Various instrumental causes get associated externally, but in those situations, uh, but he does not feel happy or unhappy at all. And the external, that is bodily, activity suitable to his spiritual status takes place in natural course. He does not involve. Prabhaji, I'm reading from your screen, so you need to scroll up.
Okay, sure. Wait. Yeah, go ahead.
Himself in it forcibly, and he does not allow his upyoga, active consciousness, to deviate or ramble too much. He rather holds deviation-less, stable condition by becoming stoical and dispassionate, and occasionally due to rise of mild passion, Shubhopayoga, auspicious thought activity is also caused, owing to which he gets inclined towards external means of Shuddhopayoga, but knowing such an inclination also to be relinquishing, wishes to uproot it. And due to the absence of rise of intense passions, there exists no Ashupayoga, inauspicious thought activity of indulging in violence, etc. And having attained such an internal state of self, he has accepted the Digambar posture, totally passionless naked state of serenity, has become free from the acts of decorating the body, etc., lives in forests, caves, etc., follows unbreachedly 28 Mulguna's basic rites, endures 20 type of Parishahas afflictions, adores 12 kinds of tapas penance, sometimes becomes motionless like an idol by holding the meditation posture, sometimes engages himself in external pious activities such as study of scriptures, etc., sometimes attentively engages oneself in food taking and making movements, etc., which activities are fit for him for the sake of maintaining the body, being the associating cause of Muni, Dharma, monk's religion. Such is the state of Jain monk, and this applies to all Jain monks.
So this description, so why did they give this general description? Any guesses?
Well, it applies to all monks, and Acharya
Yes.
Upadhyay and Sadhu are all monks.
So out of Panch Paramishti, 2 are Dev and the 3 are Munipad. Siddha and Aryans are Devs, the rest of them are Muni. So there are common characteristics between all those 3 Pad, Acharya, Upadhyay and Munipad. And then they are all sadhus. Amongst sadhus, there can be little bit specialties, like if you are an acharya, then what would you, what the characteristics will be. So, so what we just read applies to all 3.
Mm.
Nidhi ji, are you available to read? Let's give her a minute.
Prabhaji, here Upadhyay is also monk.
Yes, of
Yeah.
course.
But Upadhyay are the teachers of the monks. They are also monks. But
Yeah,
for
but
example,
they still have the
but
same characteristics, they have to follow whatever we just read.
but so by definition, Upadhyay is a monk. But for
28
example,
Mool Guna, yeah, that's what they say.
But for example, these great pundits like Pandit Bharil and Pandit Todharmal,
Right.
highly knowledgeable. I'm sure they can also teach monks, but
Yes.
because they're not munis, they cannot be called Upadhyay.
They cannot be called Upadhyay. That is true.
I think the 28 Mool Guna, there it is, monk is the one who follow the 28
Because you
Mool.
don't have those Mool Guns.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, there is sometimes you are given Padvi. For example, Todarmalji was given a, you get awards, from different people out of respect. He was given the name Acharya Kalpa. Right? Kalpa means we look at you as an Acharya. Okay? Sanjeev Ji Godha, who also had a lot of knowledge. In his case, he did not go to the typical institute to learn Jainism. A lot of it was his own. Of course, he did get a PhD in Jain geography and all that. But at that young age, he was able to gain so much knowledge and pass it on that one of the organizations gave him Upadhyay Kalpa Padvi. But they
So
cannot
kalpa
call
is
him
kind of
Upadhyay.
like
Like imaginary
equivalent of,
Upadhyay. Yes.
right, like
To
or
be-
equivalent state, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Just before Nidhi ji reads, I just have a question about Acharya. So I don't want to get off track, but who gives the title Acharya? Like when somebody is called Acharya, is it like a congregation of the monks? Is it like democratic? They vote, or how is that given?
Okay, no.
Because unfortunately
Nobody
these days a lot of people
particularly gives, even though in today's time, sort of the Shravaks give. But basically, if you have the characteristics that you can handle the congregation, you have enough knowledge that you can give prayashchit. Only acharyas, if sadhu makes a mistake, they have to go to their acharya to get, what prayashchit they should do. So one has to be knowledgeable enough, one has to be able to handle, basically, not everybody is made to become a manager, right? You have to have certain skills. So if one has those skills, then they become acharya. And they have to be respected. If you have a manager, nobody likes him, it's no good.
But I guess what I'm getting at is that so
In
unfortunately,
today's times,
nowadays everybody's taking the name Acharya, and that's not, but in traditional times, let's say in the Digambar, in, the sadhus, how does one become an Acharya? Like, do all the other monks agree, okay, that this is our Acharya?
I would think so.
Like
That's
that, or-
probably how it starts. And then in a lot of traditions, the acharya will then select the next acharya.
Okay.
Like in Sthanakvasi Terapanthi,
Tanakwasi,
right?
yeah.
They do that. Like Acharya Tulsi or whoever already had nominated Acharya Mahapragya. Mahapragya, before he died, he had nominated whoever is the current Acharya.
Brahman, yeah.
Because they kind of judge, they know that, oh, this person has the ability to handle the
Right.
congregation. So that's
Yeah,
how.
in Stanakwasi, and that's the same thing too, where they sort of
And I would
the
imagine it would be
current
similar.
Acharya gives, yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Nidhi, you can read the Acharya and Upadhyaya and we'll move on.
Characteristics of Acharya, chief of congregation of monks. Among them, in the group of above monks, he who has become the leader of a congregation of monks by acquiring the chief rank by virtue of the excellence in the right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct, and who chiefly remains engrossed in Niru Kalpa Swarupacharan,
Swarupacharan.
unrambling state of pure, passionless conduct of the self. And when he has compassionate feeling due to rise of slight mild attachment, preaches sermons to only those Jeeves who pray for and are curious for religion. He administers Diksha, renunciation vow, to those who want to accept asceticism, and purifies by the process of expiation those who admit their faults. I bow to such ascetic chief monk Acharya, who admonishes such kind of spiritual conduct.
Okay. So now acharyas have that special ability that they can handle things and they are to be respected by the rest of the sadhus. They can give diksha, they can give prayashchit, all that. Yet, sadhu who does not hold the rank of an acharya or upadhyay can possibly reach moksha faster than the acharya or upadhyay.
Yeah.
In order to go from 8th gunstan and above, one has to give up that acharya and upadhyay pad. Because pad comes with pride. So if you have
and
that, you
also
cannot go up the
like
ladder.
if you're a manager, you're going to get more karma. So
Exactly, yes, that's why.
because
So a
you
lot of people
because
choose
you're
not
taking
to become
responsibility.
managers.
In
Yeah.
many times you're taking
That is the reason
responsibility for others, right? So
when acharyas want to progress on the path of soul, their own soul, they actually renounce the acharya or the upadhyaya pad. That's what my
Exactly.
understanding is.
Yes, because when they realize that now they are ready to take that leap, then they renounce their pad. Okay.
Ma'am, may I add, then Vidyasagar Maharaj ji took Sanlekhna.
Mm-hmm.
He resigned from the Acharya Pad and he
Yes,
selected Samansar Maharaj ji to take
mm-hmm.
over the Acharya Pad.
Right. That's
Mm.
true.
The characteristic of Upadhyay was scepter monk,
Mhm.
and the Jaina monk who, having obtained the knowledge of various Jain Shastras, has
Mhm.
been installed as the authority of teaching and preaching in the congregation of the monks, and who, by knowing the purposeful meaning of all the Shastras, sacred books of Jain, meditates concentratedly upon the nature of the self, and if sometimes, due to rise of slight mild passion, his upyog, that is active knowledge, does not remain fixed in the self, then he himself reads the Shastras and teaches other religious minded people. I bow to such Upadhyay monk who teaches Bhavya Jiva, soul
Mhm.
capable of attaining liberation.
Okay. So Upadhyayas now, they are, it's like amongst a group, right? Somebody is intelligent or like a first rank holder. He's just good at grasping things and knows, right? So you can, obviously, you have the ability to teach others. Or you may know, but you may not be able to teach. So Upadhyayas will have that characteristics where they are able to teach other monks.
They know and they can teach.
They can teach.
But just because they know and they can teach, it does not mean that they're more evolved than other monks. It just they have that
No,
special
no, it
ability.
doesn't mean that. That's true.
They have that intellectual ability that maybe other monks
Intellectual
don't have.
ability, if you have, then the acharyas will label somebody as upadhyay. So basically, then when the sadhus are doing their own readings, their scriptures, if they have a question, then they are to go to the upadhyay, who are supposed to have more understanding, better understanding, who can then
It,
answer their questions.
I recall that story. Remember when there was this, Auntie Prabha, Auntie, you had said there was a congregation of lot of sadhus and the acharyas. It was some 700 sadhus, and
Right.
they had a little kid who was a muni, and
Mm-hmm.
he was like, just doing kids activities. And some sadhus came and they're like, "Oh, how did you give him diksha?" They're like, "It's okay, we will just leave him here." And they proceeded to their next destination, the remaining sadhus and acharyas. And while this person, the little kid, he actually got Keval Gyan.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I remember that you don't have to be Acharya or Upadhyay to
You
actually
cannot be.
progress.
As long as you are, you won't be able to get Keval Gyan.
Because that pride is there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and then that kid example that she's giving, there is a story about this kid who was playing in water because he was a small kid. So externally, he would feel like doing the kid things. But then as a sadhu, you cannot be touching the uh, sachit water, right? So then suddenly he realized that I'm in sadhu paryay and what a mistake I made. So then he went into prayashchit or, pratikraman, whatever. And then his bhav, that purusharth of taking the purity of bhav was so strong that he ended up attaining Keval Gyan.
Yeah, he was putting his little paper boat in the water, and he got so pure bhav that meri now tir gayi, meri now tir gayi, and that's the story version I know,
Yeah.
and that's how he just evolved from that
You're
state
mixing
to.
the two stories. It's this kid story is nothing to do with 700 sadhus, but that's okay. So the 700 sadhu was the Rakhi story, Raksha Bandhan, where Vishnu Kumar,
In that, yeah, when they were, yeah, that's right, I remember that.
that was a different story. So that's right. So yes, so the Upadhyay will have the knowledge uh, and usually practice also good, but they still have to because I mean, just like in any managerial position or even within corporate world, you have there's a terminology called SMEs, right? subject matter experts. Have you heard that?
Yeah, SME. Yeah.
SMEs, right? So it's like that. So you want to know something about this, then you go to the SME for that particular topic. You understand it from them. Okay, so let's read now the sadhu. Who has not read? I don't know if anybody else is able to read. In which case, we'll go back to Bahubali. So,
Okay.
mhm.
Characteristics of sadhu, ascetic monk. Further, accepting the preceding above two types of rank holders, the rest are all those who hold monk's rank and are engrossed in attaining the nature of the soul and do not ramble their upayoga, active consciousness, in the other substances by treating them agreeable or disagreeable. Thus, they try to tranquilize the upayoga and externally observe religious penances, rituals, etc., as being instrumental cause, and sometimes engage themselves in invocation, obeisance, obeisance, and such other activities. Such are the true Jain monks who incessantly make efforts for the realization of the self-soul. I bow to all such ascetic monks.
Okay. So now the rest of the congregation obviously is, I mean, they're all monks, Upadhyay and Acharya, also will have the characteristics of the monkhood. So
Read the next one.
only goal is to be on the path to moksha.
Yeah.
So anything else that they do is just either when they're not in meditation or that Shubh Bhav comes to them. It's not their duty to give sermons, or those are not requirements of a sadhu actually. Even though that happens, of course, but those are not necessary. So so we studied the characteristics of the 5 Parmeshtis. Now the next topic, which we will start next class, is purpose of adoration. So it's the why do we adore these 5 Parmeshtis, right? So it will be kind of similar to Devagam Stotra, that what are the things that we appreciate and why we worship Bhagwan. Okay, so we'll start with that next class. And if you want to, you could do a little bit read ahead, because the pages are a lot more than previous semesters. So we'll be sort of reading faster. The reason we do at least one reading in class is at least everybody has read the material once in class. Then hopefully you read it again while you're doing your assignments, and then the third reading while you take the tests. And hopefully fourth reading when you're searching the answers. So
I think Auntie also Moksh Prakashak we cover for 2 years, right? It's semester 3, 4, 5.
we cover for 3 different times. So we'll
Yeah.
do first and second chapter, then we'll do third and fourth chapter in another semester. We'll do 6th and 8th chapter in yet another semester. And then
because it's a 500-page book, so it's
right. And
it's
then I'm doing the seventh chapter in semester 8. So yeah, we'll do it multiple times. That's correct. But still, even the 2 chapters will be a lot of pages. So in order to try to read everything in class, we'll have to speed up a little bit. So, okay, so I'll stop sharing. And okay, by the way, I think today is the date when they're supposed to open the exams. So be on the lookout, especially for those who are working and want to take the exam on the weekend. So.
Yeah, Deepali got it actually a notification. For some reason, I'm not getting the notifications. Like some people, I mean, my email address is in the portal, but I don't get an email. But Deepali gets
I wonder
them.
if there is a way you guys can stop or start notifications.
I checked it, I couldn't find it, but anyways, I'll look again.
They should be sharing phone numbers or something. So if you have any problems like technical issues during exams, who to contact or what to do. So ask Amit ji if you guys, if they have not already sent that information, Amit ji should call Apurva and make sure he has that information. Okay, good luck everybody with the exams. And we'll see you.
Thank you, Auntie.
Sure.
Thank you.
सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी अविनाशी हूँ आत्म स्वरूप सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी अविनाशी हूँ आत्म स्वरूप सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी अविनाशी हूँ आत्म स्वरूप निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है इसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार है वंदना